My name's Rebecca Sewall, and I'm getting a master's in historic preservation. Well, I was looking at masters in historic preservation, and I was out of Boston, so I was looking at some of the programs there, and they were more sort of architectural history, or sort of the technology and actual building around historic architecture. And I really wanted one that was much more focused on preservation and the whole scale of preservation, right? So, and I also knew I wasn't going to relocate. So I was looking, initially, I was up for looking at programs around Boston. But then I thought, I found this program and was able to do it because it was online. The flexibility, I think so. I mean, we've got people in from all parts of the country. So that's sort of fun because, in the East Coast, I'm sort of so focused on early American architecture, and it's really fun for me to have conversations with people who are working in California or working in the Midwest. But it's also sort of what allows me to be in the program, right? If I had to commute or if I had to relocate, it wouldn't have been an option. Well, I mean, I guess what for me, I'm not sort of with people who are just in New England. I have classmates who are working in Texas. I have classmates who are working in the South, working post-Katrina or working in other areas. So that's fun. Well, I didn't know if I had a focus coming in. I think one of the things that's most compelling for me is really sort of the architectural history. So I think, that's the big draw right now. Now, of course, next year it might change. I'm taking a course now in city planning and learning about the planning and the financing and the economics of it all and the legal aspects of it all. So that I can see becoming a real interest too. So right now, I think it may change, even though my heart may stay with architectural history. I don't know. Well, I do. And surprisingly, like for me, doing long distance was an entirely new thing. Canvas was an entirely new thing. It took me a long time to sort of get used to having classes on Zoom as opposed to in person. It was a long time since I was last in college, right? So, and I do feel that connection. I was surprised coming here for residency how I do, how I felt I really knew Melanie, knew some of the other students. So, and I feel they're very accessible. Not really. I think for someone who's returning, having been out of an academic situation, just the technology was kind of hard for me to adjust to at first, the Canvas and use of those platforms, but now they're sort of second nature. So I think I would have liked a little sort of here, this is learning today, and sort of some assistance reorienting to an online program. I mean, it's all there. I just didn't do it. I didn't do all the tutorials, but that more than, I think people who find this program are really looking for something specific. They're not necessarily going to be art history majors or, architectural history majors. They're not necessarily just going to be city planners, but they're really looking for that intersection of all that historic preservation entails. Well, we've taken, today we spent all day in Baltimore and we've visited this amazing plasterworks factory and we visited an architectural salvage factory. We went today to an early rehab and reuse site and then a site that had been visited in its initial stage 2 years ago and now is in its finished stage. So that was fun. And then I know tomorrow I start with the program on the city's program. So we'll be looking at different areas of the city. And so that would be fun. Well, I think one of the things that surprised me about this program is that I thought I wouldn't be as actively engaged in something that was, designed to be taken remotely. And I've been surprised at how engaged it can be. And so I think that's been a real good spot or a real blessing of this program for me.